The furnace is for the man who knows that there's parts of him that cannot go where God is calling him. Parts of him that he knows he needs to shed. Fears, doubts, habits, ways of being, thinking, and operating that if he holds on to will prevent him from rising and becoming the man that God is calling him to be. As a businessman, there's patterns, procrastination, poor stewardship, and self-imposed limitations that you know you need to break through. As a husband, there's habits in your communication, avoidance of difficult conversations, poor reactions, lack of presence and ability to listen, lack of effort to steward the marriage that God has blessed you with, that you know also needs to change. As a father, there's a tendency to scroll, to be a slave to your notifications in your work, often letting the same poor habits of communication and presence that you have with your wife to cascade into how you show up with your children. As a leader of yourself and others, there's a lack of discipline, integrity, consistency, focus, and respect for your word in order to keep it when you say you're going to do something so that eventually it starts to actually hold some weight. And how you show up for yourself and your body, the first gift that God gave you, between your sleep, nutrition, and fitness, it directly impacts your confidence and energetic capacity to be focused in business and present at home, all while prioritizing your relationship with God. God has been calling you to rise. He's been placing things on your heart, things he wants you to start doing, stop doing, sustain doing. But you continue to get in your own way by stepping off the path that he is lighting for you. The good news is you are no different than every other man, at least at first. How do I know? Because I am a man who has also done this and still from time to time does it. And I've seen countless men, single, married, fat, fit, broke, wealthy, all do the same thing. But why? What is the real problem that is the cause of this repetitive resistance? On the surface, it can be fear, doubt, comfort, control, risk of reputation, pride, pleasure, lust, money. In a worldly training environment, these are often referred to as blocks, but what they are really is idols, things that you place above God and what God is calling you to do. And idols are a matter of the heart, which are defended by the mind with stories. So the real problem is not that you are afraid or have doubt, pride, or lust, or that you desire comfort, control, money, pleasure, or a good reputation. We all do. The problem is that you don't have a systematic way to process that fear, doubt, or any of the other emotions and stories that feed them in a way that leads to aligned action and obedience with the man God is calling you to become. So without a systematic way to identify the cause of resistance, the story that's enforcing it, and process it in a manner that reveals very clear actions that you are confident in taking, you will continue to do what most men do. Instead of acting in faith, you will act out of fear. Fear of failure, fear of exposure, fear of judgment, fear of responsibility. You will continue to avoid the difficult conversation you need to have with your wife. Tolerate the excuse of why you don't need to rid yourself of the vice. Believe the story you tell yourself to delay forming the habit, and procrastinate the pivot God is calling you to make in your business. And as a result, you'll continue to have more sex with your hand than you do your wife, spend more time on your phone than you do with your kids, struggle to make enough money to provide, or you'll have enough money but lack the meaning. You'll continue to stay fat, broke, or disconnected. Whichever part of your reality you want to change most, it will continue. You have to do something different, and God is telling you exactly what to do. All of this is a matter of stewardship. Stewarding the marriage God blessed you with. Stewarding the title he shared with you as father by giving you children. Stewarding your body he gave you. The financial provision, the gifts, the business. If you can't trust you, your wife can't trust you, and God definitely can't trust you. Well, why do I need God to trust me? Because that's the foundation of any fruitful, healthy relationship. Just because you are worthy of salvation doesn't mean that you are trustworthy with more. He wants to give you everything that you desire, but he will not give it to you until he knows it won't destroy you. That's love. So there's things you want. More money, more sex, connection, intimacy with your wife. more health and energy, more admiration and respect from your children, more clarity and calling. But he can't give it to you yet because you've not stewarded well what he has already blessed you with. So then it begs the question, do you want what you say you want bad enough? If so, step into the furnace and burn away the parts of you that cannot go where God is calling you. The foundational frame of the furnace is the Christ call log and the cross stack. The Bible stack facilitates a direct communion with God through his word to receive wisdom and guidance on what he wants you to start, stop, and or sustain doing. The prayer stack is a place for you to dump all of your brutal, unfiltered truth onto the altar and then seek God's guidance in two-way communication. The Christ call log is a feature within the app that tracks everything God has asked you to start, stop, and or sustain doing for you to review whether or not you have obeyed. The cross stack enables you to assess your Christ call log to find the one thing you have not obeyed that if you did, you know would bear the most fruit in your life. It then walks you through the furnace frame of confront, crucify, commit, carry. So you will confront the thing you have not obeyed and the story you are telling yourself to justify the disobedience. You will then go through a series of questions that will identify the idol, crucify it, and then remove it. From there, you'll get clear on the exact action steps you are meant to take and exactly when you are going to take them. Then you will do a threat assessment to bring awareness to anything that could sabotage you picking up and carrying your cross the way that God is calling you to, and how you will address those threats if they come. Some of the things that God calls us to do are one-off actions, but many are habits or ways of being that you are meant to sustain, and this maximizes the probability that you will succeed in doing so. The cross stack is designed to help you process and overcome anything that is standing in the way of you and the man God is calling you to become. And the furnace is a container for support, coaching, accountability, and brotherhood. This is for men who are or are willing to be Bible stacking on a consistent basis. The furnace is broken up into units of 6 to 8 men max to maintain intimacy and a high level of support from me. You'll have a weekly call with me and your unit. The weekly furnace call will include Bible and cross stack reviews, hot seats, and coaching on leadership in all 4 domains of body, being, balance, and business. The last call of every month is a brotherhood call with all of the units for advanced training, hot seats, and more. You'll get access to features in the app that nobody else has, an exclusive furnace brotherhood with all of the units, and direct message access to me. Weapons for Christ Bible study is where you learn to wield the weapons. The furnace is where you become the weapon. So click the button below, book a call with me. We'll sit down man to man, connect, and see if the furnace is a good fit for you.